Hello YouTube, I'm back and I made another thing on my shapeoko. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing videos just with the shapeoko. I have a few other ideas planned. For instance, I have a new computer parts coming and it's going to make a computer on my channel. See if you guys like that. I have a audio amp just coming up that's going to make for me, and I have tons of other stuff on my list. Some of it's just chores, but some of them are actually pretty interesting. Like, I'd like to make some speakers to replace these little creative powered units. But over the last 2 weeks I've been working on making this guy, which is pretty cool, I think. So just take off my headphones that are resting on it right now, and I'll show you a little bit better how it works, or what it is rather. Pretty sure you know how it works. It's just a headphone stand. I super glued these little pieces on. I covered the whole thing in shellac. It's actually made of 4 different pieces. So there's a piece for this part, another version of that part, the middle, and then the same mirrored on the other side. And then there's the part that I used to cut out all these guys here. So these are actually separate parts here from like this, and these are all separate triangles. The reason being is I only have a 1/4 inch router bit that I've been using, so 1/4 inch isn't going to go into here very well without making it a lot bigger. So I decided, let's just cut them all up and make them like that. And I think it worked out pretty well, although it was a bit tedious, and I probably did a little bit more sanding than I wanted to do. But overall, I'm really happy with it. So. You can put the headphones on it. They rest really well. I was a little bit afraid that these would stick out too much and be jutting into the headphones, but the earphones are low enough down that it's actually good. So, and I think it looks really nice on it. This headphone stand is not going to be staying with me here. It's actually going to be with me in my office, which is where I keep these headphones. So I got all my cuts done for my CNC. It took about 8 hours or so. And here are the results. We got the middle piece, just straight outline basically. It's all paper thin through here. I could probably bust it open. So yeah, I can bust it open by hand, but I haven't cut any of these out yet. Let's see, so I got one of the top pieces, so here and here is one side, and here is the other side. And that will go on top of one of these pieces, which has a place for here and here, so it sticks out a little bit. And then I have another one of those guys, so one for each side, sandwiched like this, with the other piece in the middle. And the last piece is the coolest piece, which is all the Triforce emblems. Really happy how this one turned out. The only problem is, let's see, where is it? Right down here, I didn't look at the visualization close enough, and it's all attached. But it's a straight piece. I can just cut it out. It's not going to be a huge deal. But overall, I'm really happy with this so far. Alright, so I have my pieces out here, and I'm just going to cut them out. I have this flush trim saw. I'm just going to go around the small pieces. And then I have my big fat max, which is if I need to cut like the tabs or something, and this isn't going to do it for me. But for now, I'm just going to take these guys and Now we got all these pieces here. I need to cut off the sides because remember I did that wrong. But, well, that works. Yeah, that came off pretty easily. So that worked fairly well if you take a look at it. There are some places where I cut off a little bit too high, but it's very small and I can easily sand that out. I'm just going to glue up the flat sides, and then once it's all dry, I can go back and sand it all flat on the top and it'll look good. Okay, so I went out and bought a sander. So I got a belt sander and a disc sander, and that's just to clean up these edges a little bit, and these guys here, but more importantly, the insides of these guys, because that's going to be really pain in the sand, and I don't want to use like a Dremel wheel, then have a whole bunch of little divots and everything when I get to it. Rather just rough clean it up now as much as I can by putting it on the end of the sander here, and then I can clean it up later by hand sanding it once it's all glued and it'll be all flush. So I'm putting on my dust protection, and yep. So yeah, that did a really good job. If you look in the inside here, you can tell that it's, you know, pretty good. And yeah, cleaned it up good enough for me for now, and then I can hand sand it once it's all glued together so all the pieces are flush. I'm thinking about it, I probably should have just glued two pieces together and have it rot out, even though it would have taken a lot longer to do. But I'm just going to finish up the rest of the pieces here. It's been about 5 hours since I let the glue set, and so I changed out the clamps and I glued up the rest of it here. I'm not going to move it because I just clamped it up, but it should be pretty good once it's done. It's going to be a lot of cleanup work on the edges, but I expected that, and this guy will take care of it. So I just finished putting on the emblem here, and I just super glued it on. I didn't take a video of that because it was very tedious and going to be boring to watch, even speed it up. But got both sides here. Super glued on, wasn't too bad. It's not really matched up perfectly, but it looks pretty good and much better than, you know, off the shelf. So there's that. And so next I'm going to put shellac on it, which is I just put a bunch in the cup. Don't drink this. And you're going to use a little foam brush. So wipe off my hands, got a little bit on me. It's not really toxic, but it's kind of sticky. Also sanded this thing down to 320 grit sandpaper, so it's pretty smooth. So I had fun making this guy, and if I was to do it again, I'm going to try to do fewer parts. I'm going to have combine some of the parts, like these fins here on the actual emblem itself. Now that I have smaller bits, so I can do a 1/8 bit instead of a 1/4 bit, that's definitely going to make it possible. Plus I have their precision bits, so I shouldn't have too many problems with that. Probably do a review on those later on. since I just got them in. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I'll be doing a video at least once a month. I'm going to try to do 2 a month and make shorter videos and see how that goes. It really depends on how my time is going right now, and I'm not making any kind of money off this. I'm just doing this for fun. So, yeah, tell me what you think.